Welcome to the fairy wren nest. Be kind to yourself. Moses is having a sleep there. If anyone knows my channel, Moses loves to come out into the garden and ponder. So I thought I would do some Sunday ponderings with journaling. So perhaps you might find this useful for some journal prompts for yourself. Journaling does not have to be expensive at all. I only ever use cheap papers, recycled papers from gifts, cheap paints. I have this beautiful set of watercolor paints. There's 3 levels of color there. That cost me about $5 from the cheap shop. And little cheap stickers and things like that. So today's Silent Sunday ponderings are be kind to yourself. So if you can read this, it says, be kind to yourself. You're doing the best you can. Just the other day at work, this card arrived in a supply of towels. I work in a health clinic, and I opened the box and I was really down that day about something that happened at work. And I asked the angels for a sign to get me through the day, and that was inside the delivery box of towels. Now I've decorated that today with stickers and some gift paper, and I've put it on some card and I stamped those letters on it. Be kind to yourself. Now I am making another oracle card deck out of paper collaging, so of course that will be going in it. But I'll also be taking a photo of it for this journal, and I'll be popping it in this beautiful envelope. So I've picked some beautiful flowers, pondering, be kind to yourself. And we nurture so many others in our own lives, don't we? We forget to nurture ourselves, and sometimes, like it happened to me at work, I was just doing the best I could. Kindness and gentleness. And anyway, I've yet to reflect more on that. So I've written about that. I'll be popping that into the envelope. But because today is my mother's birthday, when I got that message at work in that box of delivery goods, I could hear my mother saying those beautiful words. I really, really could. And she was just a beautiful soul in all ways. So I thought today I would write, I've painted this, I would write the words. And in such a moment, she recalled the beauty of her mother's voice. And then I came out into the garden, and these flowers have recently bloomed. We've had them for years. They're a tipicina flower, and she used to grow these in her garden, but she had the really big tree of the tipicina. We just bought the smaller shrub variety. And years ago when we bought this, to our surprise, you know how they have the label? I have got the label somewhere, so I must find that. And it says it's a species they named Jules, and that's what we called her. So what I'll be doing is I will be pressing this flower and putting it into the journal. And here's my little flower press. I got this on Etsy off an Australian lady, and she sent colouring pencils, and you could colour this. And I love sunflowers. It's only a small one. I use this a lot. My husband made me a really big one, which I may show later in another video. So I'll be pressing this in between that card in there, and then I'll be laminating this flower and putting that in my journal. So I will show you that in other videos. Now on the other side of this envelope, this is a really old writing set I've had for years that a friend gave me. And when I came out into the garden, like I painted this purple inside, and I noticed the flowers out in bloom, or they were coming out in bloom, and they were in full bloom today, so I'm glad I chose purple. But amazingly, a dragonfly flew by and there's been an orange, yes Moe, there's Moe, an orange butterfly trying to get our attention. Isn't that right, Moe? There he is. So I thought that was just beautiful around the energy of how I was feeling, how these words I felt were from my mother the other day, and how it is her birthday today. So I'm reflecting that in this journal. So essentially, Moe's drinking my cup of tea. I will be putting that in there for now, but I will be taking a photo of it and putting it back into this envelope because I want to keep the oracle card for my deck. And then you can just, what's a lovely idea, I'll be putting that in the envelope, but I've written a lot of other things on little pieces of paper to pop in here, and they'll be going, because they're just things that I want to share with spirit inside the envelope. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm going to buy a paper doily and glue that on so I can place that inside the journal as well. And I do a lot of crafting, and I get a lot of things just from the cheap craft shop or just cheaply online. These are wooden buttons. So I think I might glue them onto the page. So it's going to make my journal quite chunky. But because we've got Moses in the garden, I'm going to press the flower, and the butterfly's been catching our attention. Or I might try and find a dragonfly picture as well. Or I could put those in this envelope also. And I want to write more about the butterfly and dragonfly that's been flying around just before I videoed this, because I thought that was lovely. And Moses is actually my mum's cat, and when she passed many moons ago now, I adopted him, or we adopted him. We just love him. He's elderly, and it got me thinking too how our pets are so kind and gentle with us, aren't they, and loving. And that's what Moses is, and now he's aging. Just reminds me to nurture him as well, and to focus on those that do love us. And yeah, and how sometimes at work to remember that, you know, that our loved ones send us a message in spirit even when we're feeling down at work. It's just amazing. And of course, if you know my channel, I love oracle cards, and I've got a new oracle deck, and I'll be reviewing this one or highlighting it to you. And I kept repeating this verse and reflections of mum and what happened, and that, yeah, that message, be kind to yourself, you're doing the best you can, and how I visualized her speaking that when that came through. And I just love this. I got the inner child card. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. And I felt it's really a communication with spirit, isn't it? With my mother and the flower I picked, the flower here, the child, the mother-daughter communication. So I'll be popping, I'll probably be getting another copy of this deck because I want to use it for journaling. So I will pop that inside the envelope too. And as I said, I'll get a paper doily and glue all this in, or perhaps just take photographs so it's all in today's reflections. And I'll press this flower as well. The grevilleas don't press so well, they do fall apart, but I will find a space for it on these pages. And this is my journal. It's a hardcover journal. It's got quite a lot of pages. I got it from Kmart, so you get them at the cheap shop. This was only $4. So I thought I would use it for my YouTube journal sharing really. I do have other journals, but I thought I'd keep this simple, and this will be yes, for Sunday journal pondering. So I hope this has inspired you to just start journaling. Doesn't have to be expensive. And oh, I got Moses upside down, so I'll show you this page again next week when I've completed it, and when we go on to our next inspiration and topic for journaling. So blessings all. Have a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and thank you for popping into the fairy wren nest. So as you can see, Moses has enjoyed these gentle reflections and that little bird singing. And I wish I could film that butterfly that keeps flying around. He's just been flying around Moses, but I just can't seem to capture it on camera at the moment. I don't know if you can see it, but it is fluttering around. Yes, the blessings all. Be kind to yourself and have a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Take care.